Welcome everybody. So the majority of the products that we're going to show are going to be applicable to an outdoor street light. So John has talked about the motion sensor and the photocell. I'm going to talk about the dimming receptacles, either the Endurance S or we'll talk about the Endurance N. We have a series of bases for the Endurance S. We have some domes, that's in 40mm. We have them different domes in different colours, either clear or smoke grey. We have the 80mm, which is the LUMAWISE motion. We have the dome again for the 80mm. We've got ceiling caps to protect against the element. Then I'm just going to go quickly through the slides. We've got a bunch of connectors, either to connect LED board to LED board, or from the driver to the LED board, or we have a terminal block here, and we have a wire-to-wire connections inside. So we've got a real strong range in terms of product offering for the OEMs in order to build a street light. So first product goes on top of an ANSI dimming receptacle, and John had talked about the series 9000, 10,000 and the 11,000, which were dimming photocells. These are straight on-off photocells. So what happens is, when it gets below a certain light level outside, then the photodiode detects the lack of light, closes a relay inside, and then creates a short circuit. And so this here has a live in, a live out, and a neutral. And basically what happens is, when it's dark, the live in and the live out are joined together, and we have a closed circuit. Now this is the 7000 series. This is, let me say, the 8 to 10 year life. We also have the 8000 series, which is more robust, better quality components, and it lasts for 20 years. So as I say, it goes on the Endurance N dimming receptacle. And as I say, it literally just turns on and off. And the ones that I'm showing you here are what I call typical for the US. And it's north facing, so this window points to the north, but we have some that are totally open, as is Jonathan's, so the photodiodes pointing towards the sky as well. The other thing is it's IP54, and we're going to have some new versions that are IP66 later on in the year. One of the things about an Endurance end dimming receptacle is, if you put that on your street light at the top, then it's open circuit. So even though you've connected the electricity to the bottom of the pole, the street light will never turn on. Why? Because the electricity is open circuit at the Endurance N dimming receptacle, so the electricity doesn't reach the driver. So basically what you have here is a shorting cap, which is basically a short circuit, so it just connects the live in and the live out together. So this is one design we have. We also have, let me say, the Endurance N Plus, which is the more modern one. This is the ones that we've sold to Saudi Arabia. So basically what the customer does is he installs his street light, connects the electricity to the bottom, installs his luminaire with the NEMA dimming receptacle. But unless he uses a shorting cap, then the electricity will never reach the driver. And if it never reaches the LED driver, you'll never be able to turn it on. So this is a stopgap measure that people put on so that they can power the street light before maybe this photocell or the smart city controller is attached. We also sell an enabler for the smart city platform, which is the enhanced Endurance N enhanced base. And basically what this does is, this goes on the Endurance N dimming receptacle, and these electronics here, what they do is they convert from, let's say, 230 volts electricity into digital signals. So Therefore, a lot of our customers, a lot of the startups, they are very good at the digital, they're very good at the software. And what we do is we give them a digital input. So we convert from mains electricity into the digital signal. I won't talk about these. These are another type of photocell, what we call button. And basically these, the luminaire manufacturer puts a hole in the luminaire, and it just screws, and this points to the sky. So here you don't need a dimming receptacle. And then I'm going to come to a bunch of the terminal blocks. I won't go because of time constraint, but here you can see you've got a multiple pitches screwless terminal block. These here go into the PCB, these parts here, and then the luminaire assembly operators push this button down and then put the wire in. And again, it's for LED drivers and for power supplies. We have a vertical version as well, screwless, and again, you just push the wires into the top here. So a different format for the same application. So rather than pushing the wires in from the side, we push the wires in from the top. Nectar S, really great product. I think what I'd like to kind of say for this is, if anybody's interested in this, we've moved this to our Morocco factory. Really bunch of great guys, really proactive, with a can-do attitude. So if we ever need any of these sorts of products, then we can make special wire harnesses for them. And you can see here, we're showing this here because one of the applications we're going to show at the Light and Build fair is going to be the horticultural lighting, and this is going to be one way of actually connecting the different luminaires. But Peter uses this for Carrier, a refrigeration company. So there's a very, very popular product, and as I say, you can see here the flexibility. So if anybody asks about this product and they ask for anything special, different wire lengths, different number of ways, also for the horticulture focus for this fair, we're using Nectar T, and you can see here you have a T, a kind of a cross, a T, and a straight through. We also have panel plugs. And this is another one that we're just in the process of moving factory. This is again the Nectar T. It's a lower cost solution. It's a kind of, you can do it in the field easier, and it's a spliced version, so IDC. And then we have some sealed IP67 wire to board. And you can see here we have a slim seal miniature, and we're going to have samples of this. So again, different options, different solutions for the customer depending on their exact application. Slim seal connectors, you can see again just exactly the same sort of application. And this one here is primarily developed for the US market, but we're going to show this, and it's a really, really cool product in terms of much, much higher quality solution for the input wires from the live earth and neutral that goes into the luminaire. And what you have here is you screw the 3 wires in from the bottom of the lamppost, and then you can't really see them very well here, but then the customer has 3 poke-in wires for each way, and they can then use that to simplify their internal wiring system. One thing that'll be really interesting is if we get a lot of interest from the European customers, should we make it CE marked? At the moment it's UL marked. Won't talk too more about this. This here is the Endurance product. The ANSI, this is probably the biggest selling product in the street lighting portfolio in terms of value. And this is what John was alluding to earlier. This is the ANSI dimming receptacle. And you can see here, but the gold ones here, you've got, these are the dimming contacts. So you have, this here is 2 dimming. You still have your live in, live out and neutral. And here you have 4 dimming. And it would be fair to say that most of our customers, or the majority of our customers, have now standardized on the 7-way. So that's 4 dimming, the live in, live out and neutral. And that's to future proof, even although they only may use 2 of the dimming contacts. In the future, they might want to change something, have a different type of sensor being attached to it. And there's another picture of it. This is the Endurance N+. So the one before needed a gasket, so you had to have here, and you had a separate gasket underneath. Here, this is the one with an integrated gasket on it. It's a better cost base for sure as well, because we've tooled it. This here is just a bracket. If you want to push a photocell of that on the outside, then this can go to the outside of a cabinet. Here we have, you had the dimming receptacles. Here you have the bases. You can see you've got here, you've got live in, live out and neutral, and then you've got the dimming contacts. So these dimming contacts mate with the other dimming contacts from the ANSI dimming receptacle. And again, what the customer does is he uses visor base. The electronic provider or the solution provider for, say, the photocell will buy this base, connect his PCB to these pins, and then put this dome on top. And we've got various domes in various finishes, so it could be dark grey, light grey, clear, short, medium and high. Here's just some other pictures for it. And this is the N+. And again, what the N+ has got is it's got an integrated gasket. You saw the one before had a red gasket. This here's got its own gasket. But we also offer a vented solution, which is super cool. And the fact is that the electronics heat up. As it heats up, it increases the pressure inside. And then when it cools down again, it can suck moisture back in. So this here is like a Gore-Tex type vent, and it keeps the pressure the same, and it stops condensation and any moisture ingress. So that was the Endurance N and N+. Here you can see what I mentioned before. You've got the Zagabook 18 dimming receptacle. You've got a base, where it be the 80mm, where it be the 40mm, and you get different domes. And again, we offer a vented solution here as well. But the important thing here is the Zagabook 18 compliant. From there, I just mentioned before, like what I said with the Endurance N, you have an Endurance S solution with a vented base. And again, if somebody's got a lot of power electronics inside a sealed unit, and again, it's IPX6, so it's quite, you know, it's kind of watertight as well as quite airtight. So what you'll do is any electronic heat will cause the whole thing to rise, the temperature to rise, and this will help equalize that temperature. And there you've got here, just another picture of it. You've got the receptacle S2, you've got the same base and the same domes and the same sealing caps. Now this is another push that we're having, and Frank is doing this with Schrader. Instead of having one hole for each way, you have 2, so you can loop in, loop out and daisy chain. So all that complex wiring requiring extra connectors inside the luminaire, this takes care of that. So this here is the same point, so you can have a wire coming in and a wire coming out going to the next part of the circuit. So you're not going into multiple terminal blocks in and out. It's got a special washer, it's got an even better gasket, and this is now the next generation that we're about to launch. And again, you can just see the domes and the sealing caps that I've explained.